next. But first, as we've been talking about throughout the week, this year's Notting Hill Carnival was marred by violent disorder and criminality, with the Metropolitan Police confirming yesterday that they made 349 arrests over the weekend for a variety of offences, including 8 stabbings, drug possession and assaulting emergency workers. 61 were assaulted. However, even as a 32-year-old woman lay in hospital fighting for her life on Sunday, Sadiq Khan did not comment on the carnage at the carnival. Instead, he was taken to social media to talk about the new memorial he has commissioned to the victims of the transatlantic slave trade. And then on Monday, Mayor Khan once again ignored the elephant in the room and instead retweeted about London-based beavers that are improving our water quality. And then he followed that up, not with a tweet condemning those who attacked police officers and the other emergency workers, but with a tweet about the expansion of water fountains on the London Underground. In fact, the only message Mayor Khan posted about the Notting Hill Carnival was at 6:36 p.m. on Sunday's Family Day, praising the carnival's celebration of Caribbean culture. But at 9 p.m. that evening, the Met posted that there had been 3 stabbings, and one of which was near fatal, with 90 arrests, including assaults on 15 coppers. Nothing at all about the violence that marred that carnival weekend. Let's get the thoughts now of the former London Assembly member, Peter Whittle. Peter, welcome to the show. An astonishing state of affairs, I think you would agree. Terrible violence marring the Notting Hill Carnival, and yet the cat seemed to have Sadiq Khan's tongue. Why?
I know. It's sort of predictable, disgraceful, Martin, but predictable. I think that the Notting Hill Carnival is sort of this sacrosanct event. And because at City Hall, where I was for 5 years, diversity is our greatest strength. That is their mantra. So, in a way, they're going to be very loath to criticize anything which in some ways undermines that idea. Now, when it comes to something like this carnival, over the past, 5-6 years, we've seen hundreds of arrests and stabbings. As you said, we had it again this year. We also, of course, have had an acid attack this year. But I have to say to you that here we are on Wednesday, and the mayor has finally decided apparently to say something. I don't know what. That's purely, I'd imagine, just out of some kind of pressure. But along with the government generally, there's been a kind of silence about this. If this had been a St. George's Day parade and there had been stabbings or there had been arrests, you would not have heard the end of it from him and indeed from the government. It would have been there from the very start, from Saturday, if it happened on a Saturday, right the way through. But there is this kind of not just misplaced sensitivity, but this, I think, of kind of fear, if you like, of offending people who, after all, vote largely for Sadiq Khan.
Peter Whittle, you're exactly right. I was so confused and exasperated by the lack of statement from Sadiq Khan. We decided to take matters into our own hands, and we reached out to Sadiq Khan's office earlier on today, and we finally got a statement. This is the first time, to my knowledge, that the London Mayor has spoken on those events, and here is that statement. It says the Mayor's thoughts are with the families of the 4 people who are in hospital, as well as the police officers who were injured during the weekend. This violence is simply unacceptable and does not reflect the majority of people who celebrated peacefully over the weekend. The Mayor would like to pay tribute to the hard work of the organisers and all of our brilliant police officers and emergency service personnel for everything they did to help Londoners this weekend. Peter Whittle, I put it to you, that is a fine and noble statement, but why did we have to rattle it out of Sadiq Khan?
But also, why is it written down? Why is he not saying anything in public? Why has it taken, as you say, this long? I think it's for the reasons that I've just said. He's got form in this way, Martin. I don't remember him saying very, very much when we had the huge Gaza demonstrations, if you remember, and we had these genocidal slogans put up onto Big Ben, from the river to the sea. Very little from Sadiq Khan then. And I think, as I said, that if this had been another form of of protest or parade or whatever, I think there would have been no questions that he would have been coming out all guns blazing. He said in that one of his tweets that Carnival is part of the fabric, of our city of London. I don't really necessarily go along with that. I think it's actually quite a young thing in London's terms. It's been around London for 1,000 years. Carnival started in the 1960s. It's got progressively more violent as it's gone on.
Okay.
The fabric of our society are the very things that actually he attacks: our statues and our buildings and our history.
Okay, Peter, well, thank you for your opinions. We have to leave it there. And thank you for the mayor for responding.